Does the weird sci-fi horror movie Rupture think emotions are good, bad, or something more complex? Stick around and hear my thoughts. I'm Peter Franson from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. This is my uncut review of Rupture. The synopsis, written by one person on IMDb, reads, "Without even knowing it, Renee, a divorced single mother, and her rebellious teen son, Evan, are under surveillance in their own home. But who is the one behind the hidden cameras, collecting all this information about this unaware family? Before long, an odd car breakdown will set the stage for Renee's violent abduction, where a group of anything but good Samaritans will take her to a state-of-the-art hidden laboratory to conduct a string of horrifying psychosomatic experiments on her. What are the intentions of Renee's unfeeling snatchers?" All right, so what is this thing? I need to say from the front that the trailer might have ruined me on this movie. If you're even curious about this movie, don't watch more than 1 minute of the trailer max, and definitely turn it off before she gets the answer to the question, what is G1012X? About halfway through the trailer, she asks a character, what is G1012X? The character then tells her what it is, and I wish I would have gone into the movie not having that answer, because I think that it's a major question that we're meant to wonder about until close to the end of the movie when it is actually answered. It's probably about 20 to 30 minutes before the end that we get the answer to that question, and so I think much of the movie before that is about her discovering slowly and trying to figure out slowly what's going on, what do these captors want. And so I think because of this, the movie largely felt weird to me instead of disturbing and unknown, which I wonder if that's what the filmmakers are going for. The movie does keep the movie itself keeps the motives and goals of her captors unclear until deep into the movie. And so I think that the movie itself is functioning and revealing information at the pace that it's supposed to. It's just kind of an unfortunate trait of the trailer for this one. Much of the movie, as I said, is about her trying to escape, so there's lots of suspense of her crawling around, trying to sneak around, having to move really quickly before she's caught. So there's a lot of that kind of suspense going on. And in the midst of that, she's slowly learning more about her captors. So you're getting this slow reveal of information about who are they, what are they all about. You know, it does have some light sci-fi elements that really open up more in later in the movie. I won't say how much. I felt like it did a good job of keeping tension throughout for me, or at least a sense of mystery, you know. Even having been spoiled by the trailer, I was mostly interested in where things were going. Now, as far as the cast goes, Noomi Rapace, who you might recognize as the main protagonist in Prometheus, and also the original foreign films, the girl who kicked the hornet's nest, the girl who with the dragon tattoo. That's the first one, the girl with the dragon tattoo. Anyway, I've found her in many movies that I've seen her in now to be an interesting performer to me. And actually, it was her being in the lead that most drew me into wanting to see this movie. But I actually, after having seen it, might have preferred an actress more known for vulnerability than her. This story, I think in part, is supposed to be about a vulnerable, frightened woman becoming stronger. And that's a formula in a lot of horror movies where you start with someone who's kind of a weak damsel in distress, and over the course of the movie, whether it's because they're the last girl standing, or whatever, or maybe they're the main character to begin with, but, a lot of times in horror movies that feature a female protagonist, we'll see this arc of them becoming stronger, becoming braver, becoming more capable. And I wouldn't say that's as strong of a theme or as strong of an arc in this movie as we've seen in many other horror movies, but it's significant enough to what this movie I think is meant to be that having Noomi Rapace in the role it didn't work as well for me as I think it would have with another actress, because she's known to me as an actress who takes on, she plays very strong female characters, very capable female characters, and so when she's portraying herself as a more frightened a character that has tendencies toward worry and fear and stuff, I wasn't feeling it as much, She's also very physically fit, and she really, keeps her fitness in all the roles that she does. And so there's just something both in terms of the roles that she plays and the way that she keeps her physical fitness that just makes her seem strong and have a more commanding presence than I think would have served this movie better, if it would have been a different type of actress. The surrounding cast of captors are well suited, I think, to their roles as strange and unfeeling weirdos. So I don't have any complaints there. As far as the visuals go, there's not a ton of visual effects. There's CG that's used a few times for some body horror elements, and the design in those moments did come across as grotesque and unsettling to me, but I would have preferred a blend of CG and makeup effects. I mean, this looks like it's a smaller film, so they maybe wouldn't have had the time and the budget to go full practical. That would have been the ideal for me. But at least maybe like practical makeup that they use CG to transition from one to the other. But just using CG all the way, it didn't work as well for me because it wasn't as convincing. Again, the design was still creepy and unsettling and grotesque, and so I was feeling some of what they wanted me to feel, but it was very obviously CG, at least to my cursed eye. The lighting uses lots of warm colors and dark-ish environments, plenty of shadows at least in all the environments, and it's a big part of the mood of this movie, and I thought for a while it was merely for that. I was like, why are they keeping the lighting like this? I mean, these people that have captured her, they don't seem that bizarre and weird, that they would like to be in creepy lighting and stuff, but there is an explanation that factors the lighting into the story later on. So I was glad for that. But for a while, and I think again in part because some key elements were spoiled for me, I was just going, what in the world is this lighting about? So I can't stress enough how unfortunate it was that trailer revealed the information that it did to me. Okay, so as far as themes, is there anything of moral, philosophical, or spiritual significance going on in the themes of this thing that might trigger some worthwhile thought or conversation? Her captors are nearly emotionless, without human feelings like love and especially compassion or real affection. And they see this as good, and they see Renee's fear as a weakness. The script seems to acknowledge that fear is something that should be overcome, at least I think, but yet it clearly is also validating love and compassion. So it's not an anti-emotion type of message. If there is a message here somewhere, I mean, it's also not, I don't think, I mean, it's definitely not an anti-emotion message. You're not going to get an anti-emotion message from Hollywood almost ever. What you are going to usually get from Hollywood is like, emotions are good, just embrace your emotions, follow your feelings, follow your heart, all that kind of stuff. But I don't think, because of the way they treat fear at times here, I don't think that they're saying that fear is, always good, that there are elements of fear that should be overcome. So I'm not sure exactly what statement might be made about emotions here, if any, but I would agree that emotions are a mixed bag. They are often a very good part of what makes us human, a very important part. If we are dead and cold individuals and just, being sterilely logical, we want to be logical, all the time, but we want that to be in cooperation with our emotions. We don't want it to be either or, right? And I think so often we can tend toward being logical and cold without feeling, or embracing our feelings and emotions and not, pursuing truth, and reason. So emotions are a mixed bag. We do want to have them as part of our experience, but we also don't want them to be controlling us, So I think there's maybe some observations that you could make there, but I don't think the movie itself is making strong statements. I have no idea what your as far as your time traveling, what the crap, Pater? I got some kind of like big truck is just going by outside. I think I got a little bit distracted. Anyway, I have no idea what you like in movies, but if I were a time traveler, I'd go, what the crap is that? All right, I gotta find out later. It sounds like a hurricane generator is just cranked on across the street. Skip this one, Pater. If you watch the entire trailer, then it's not worth watching, unfortunately. Man. That trailer really will ruin much of what the movie might have otherwise been. But since you like weird and disturbing suspense horror that leans into fear of the unknown, and you also like body horror, which this has a few splashes of, give this one a try if you can dodge that trailer, or at least dodge the second half of it, if you can find this movie either free or part of a streaming service you're already paying for, or cheap like a Redbox rental or something like that, because it might end up being a really cool experience for you. Again, if you don't watch all that trailer. Dang it. All right, this one does not have a rating. I would describe it as PG-13-ish for violence/horror. Maybe R for language. There are F-bombs more than once, but I didn't keep track, and those can go kind of in one ear and out the other for me. So it didn't seem frequent enough that it could be R just on the basis of language alone. But anyway, those are all my thoughts for now on Rupture. I would love to get your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, click that bell to stay connected. I want to thank the Spirit Blade Insiders for making so much of my content possible. You can get info about the benefits of joining at patreon.com/spiritblade productions. Then I hope you'll check out our podcast and stay connected to all CGC content at christiangeekcentral.com as we continue to geek out and seek the truth. Once again this year, I'm raising funds for children in urgent need, this time fundraising for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which provides free treatment for children facing life or death circumstances, and shares its cutting-edge life-saving research with hospitals all over the world. To raise funds, I'm leading members of the Christian Geek Central community in our Game Save 21 event, which you're still welcome to join by following the link in the description below. And once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will stream live on youtube.com/christiangeekcentral beginning 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 6th. You can donate or get more info by clicking on my fundraising page in the links below, where you'll also find incentives and rewards for doing so. For donating $5 or more, you can choose a topic for me to share my sometimes overly strong opinions on during my live stream. For $10 or more, you get the previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Special Edition audio drama. For $20 or more, you get the previous rewards, and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 6th live stream. Pick a favorite or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. At $30, you get the previous rewards, and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 6th live stream. Pick an old favorite of yours, or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something no one wants to hear. And at $50 or more, you get the previous rewards and a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's an $80 value. On top of that, I've set some fundraising milestones that will unlock strange and unusual happenings as I reach them. At $200, I'll have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 13th. And as my total goes beyond $200, I'll unlock increasingly more content for that free download day. And depending how far beyond $200 my fundraising goes, during my November 6th live stream, I will show a photo of me you will never be able to unsee, put on a pair of frozen socks and a frozen t-shirt at the same time, shoot water up my nose with a turkey baster, and have my wife Holly play a video game with me for 30 minutes. And if I reach a personal fundraising total of $500 or more, I will do a 2-hour jump scare live stream before the end of the year featuring only the games that terrify me most, including Dead Space and PT. Now, I don't want to do that, but I know you sick people want to see that, so you're going to have to pay money to make it happen. And if I reach my $500 goal by the end of Thursday, October 21st, I will do a 4-hour live stream on Monday night, October 25th, doing my pathetically absolute best to get good at a game in the Souls genre. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all the details. I hope that you will be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central Game Save team do some good for some kids and families who really need it. And then please join me at youtube.com/christiangeekcentral for my 24-hour video gaming marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific Time on Saturday, November 6th. Hope to see you then. Oh my gosh. This is all kinds of wrong.